Mahalo to the following sponsor, Global Media Productions, for the most educating, inspiring, and entertaining events on Maui. globalmediaproductions.com. Welcome to Life on Maui. My name is Stephen Freid. My guest for today is Grace Purusha, Master Nutritionist, Health Coach, and Diplomate of Oriental Medicine. She's the author of 5 Essential Laws of Eating and will be doing a book signing at Borders. Her website name describes her perfectly. Welcome to the show, Grace.
Thank you so much, Steve. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yeah, 2 kids from Philly.
That's us.
In paradise.
Yes, I'm sure they'll hear the accent.
They'll hear it. They'll get it. What does your Center for Radiant Aliveness offer to people?
I would say, in essence, the Center for Radiant Aliveness is where space that I get to offer all the things that I'm so happy to be of service in, which is nutritional counseling for people who want something better with their body and their health. Not just a diet, but I'm here as a mentor and an educator for people to come and study with me at the center. And then there's also a wonderful opportunity for people to use it as retreat space to make a bigger shift, to actually practice with me healthy food preparation, working out, meditating, and cleansing their body, or just resting, or getting off of sugar, starch, coffee. So a safe place for people to make a real change.
So some of the specifics that you offer, what are some of the specifics?
Well, first thing that I'm going to do with people is look at how they eat. And I'm going to give them a new program so that they can reduce their symptoms and lose weight or gain weight, whatever they need to do. And I'm also going to look at their body and make sure that they know how to move it and how to practice endurance and strength and flexibility, and that they're well balanced in their movement. And then I'm going to work on them also with acupuncture without needles. So I do non-invasive point opening of their meridians, opening up their energy, balancing them out. It's a lot about a way for me to infuse my true love and caring for people in a way that actually helps them to feel more balanced in their body. And acupuncture with a laser acupoint instead of needles. So that's very re-energizing. And I also do workouts with people. So I really like to take people down to the beach and teach them how to work out outside where it's fun and they don't have to touch any metal. And you just get this wonderful feeling of breathing the fresh air and working all parts of your body. And so it's a place for people to make a change, the center. It's a temple atmosphere. It's very sacred and holy and very beautiful. And that's my service here on Maui.
That's wonderful. You say that health is a product of awareness and willingness.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm sure you have many times at our point in life tried different ways of eating and tried out different formulas and diets and this thing and that thing. And so that raises your awareness. Now you're aware of different ways that you know you feel better, different ways that make you feel lighter, ways that make you feel also not so good and cloggy and heavy. So you're aware. But the part that's challenging for people is the willingness to do what it is that they pretty much know at this point would make a difference, or that they need to learn something because they don't know what to do. They're actually ignorant of what to do, so they need to be willing to learn and change and take in new information and find out what's going on that's keeping them from having what they want. So that's the willingness part. Sometimes you hear something that's going to be great for you and you really aren't willing to do it. You know, there's issues about coffee. There's conflicting information.
Oh, yeah.
So, but sometimes people, we find out actually through testing that it does have harmful effects upon them. We see that. They see it. Then they have to be willing to go, okay, I'm going to let go of that because that doesn't serve me anymore.
And obviously, different things work for different people.
Yes.
For some people, vegan. For some people, they feel better when they eat meat.
Yes.
You know, so there really isn't one way. So I'm
That's
imagining that you really tune in and try and help the person discover what's just right for them.
That I couldn't say it better myself. And on the cover of my book, it says, "Find your unique formula for success." And then it says, "I did it, you can do it too." And both of those are true. I believe that there's a method of discovery for each person to find out. We try out different amounts, different times of day, different kinds of food, how much flesh food to no flesh food. And for every single person, I don't believe in any formulas. I think blood types and constitutional types are interesting and interesting to explore, but in the end, there's only one Steve. And what works for Steve, Steve needs to find out for himself. So I help people find that out.
And you have you went through a big period of your life that you would consider not healthy.
Yes, not centered, balanced, and consistent for sure.
Right, right. And dietary stuff that wasn't to your liking. And now you are, very disciplined. I don't know if you want to reveal your numerical age to people, but you're a lot. You look young.
Yes. I think it's good. I'm 58 years old, and I like to tell people that because I'm actually a test tube, laboratory experiment for the world. I feel I've been called to try out as many things as I can that I have seen, pretty inviting to produce high levels of health, and I just use myself and my life as an experiment. So now you can see at 58, this is what I've come up with I'd say 30 years now of practicing, with the last 15 very intense, 8 years of which were with a very strong and powerful teacher and model. So I got a good bump there forward.
Well, this brings up what I want to, you attribute a lot to someone you call an extraordinary teacher in your life.
Yes.
Who also happened to be your husband.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Oh, it was fabulous. How it actually happened is part of my whole story, as you know, Steve, is my quest for the divine masculine and feminine, the divine union. And so I was always questing for this. And when I saw Charlie Cropley teaching, I sat in the back of this room and I went, whoever that man is the kind of man that I would want to be with. And I just went up and talked to him during this Health Coach International training, and I told him who I was, and I said, if I know you're single because I asked, and I think you should find out who I am and consider having me as the woman in your life.
Really?
And, yes. And he said, nobody's ever said that to me, but anybody with enough chutzpah to say that, I'm willing to give it a try, so let's go. And we never were apart after that.
Huh.
Isn't that something?
Oh yeah.
And then he
was.
And then
how did it?
He was an amazing naturopathic physician of the old school, which is my training now. So I have been trained in old-time natural medicine and how one truly produces health according to the 5 laws of eating, which I wrote a book in honor of Charlie and his teachings, and my experience of living through that and how I changed my ways by eating whole and clean and alive and simple and natural.
Is that the 5 laws?
Those are the 5 laws.
Repeat them.
They are: eat your food whole, an apple instead of apple juice, alive, just as undercooked as possible, as low cooked as possible, simple, like all animals of the universe, eat one food at a time. And when humans do that, they achieve a very high level of health and vitality. I do attribute a lot of my radiant aliveness to eating my food in a simple way. I very, very often eat one thing at a time. Many times in the day I don't mix anything. And that gives us a very high energy, a high intake of our food, and it produces a lot of vitality to eat like that. And the animals aren't crazy. So that's the first 3. And then we have clean, as little sauce, salt, sugar, and oil on your food as possible. Clean. And then natural, just the way it appeared in nature. raw and unsalted sunflower seeds. Not roasted, not salted, not tamaried, sugared, and just natural.
Well, I'm going to add here that I got together with you yesterday for a pre-interview, as I always do with people.
Yes.
And just not to freak people out too much, you made broccoli with spaghetti sauce on it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you did put spaghetti sauce on the broccoli.
Yes, I did.
So you like things that taste good.
Yes, and so the trick is to find the line where you're not craving the salt, the sugar, and the oil, but you're actually craving the tomatoes and the tomato sauce. And you can have a little bit of this and that in it to make it taste good, but you want to watch out if you're starting to eat like a bag of chips every day, or a bagel every day, or a bunch of butter on your food. Now you're interested in salt.